Hi, everyone. Welcome to another example of what Crunch can do. Today, we are taking the example of A B testing, which is something that we deal with a lot in our day to day. So, I've typed in my query, which group generated more revenue. And for those of you who are looking at this for the first time, this is what our AI analysis agent interface looks like. So, this is a custom agent that has been developed or tuned to do analysis on A/B test data sets, right? Like, so you can see on the left, we have connected BigQuery, Postgres, and Crunch auto track, which is our own tracker. But we have also uploaded three files, right? Like active users, user groups, and purchases. Now, as I run the analysis, the system gets into the job, and you will see that the variable explorer will also start popping in. So every time a table comes in, the system identifies new variables and it's doing its whole sequential analysis of here is the observation, here is the query that I'm writing for it, here is another observation that I'm doing based on that query, and then it comes up with a result. Now this is very short of an analysis, but we have had many examples where we are trying to do customer segmentation, RFM analysis, revenue, churn predictions, lifetime value calculations, segmentation for that matter, wherein we have taken examples that go into like 10, 12, 15 steps as well at times. But let's look at what's essentially happening here, right? Like now, I asked just do a revenue analysis based on the A/B test. Now it's saying before determining which group generated more revenue, we need to perform the following steps: check for null values, makes sense. Join the tables to relate users to their corresponding groups and purchases, of course. So you will see that there are three tables here, but the data is sitting across all three, and the system will have to marry it. Aggregate the revenue by groups to identify the total revenue generated by each group. That looks like a fair ask. So it writes a query for basically checking the null value, and let's look at what is the result. There are no null values within active users table. Now we need to proceed with the next step. By the way, in case null values come in, it would remove it automatically, and we have covered that in the other examples, so you're free to check them out. Now it's saying that there are no null values, so we need to proceed to the next step, which is to check for null values in the groups table, of course. So it again writes a SQL query for the group table, and then it observes that there are no null values here either. Then it goes and says that, hey, next step is to check purchase table for null values. Okay. And then it just goes and says, now that we have confirmed there are no null values in either of these tables, we can safely join the group tables and purchase value on user ID to relate users to their corresponding groups and purchase. After this, we'll aggregate the revenue by groups to see which group generated more revenue, of course. So this is a very simple clubbing together of tables. And by the way, again, if you're looking at this for the first time, these queries are editable. All you're supposed to do is just go here and maybe like you change group G to group A if there is a group A actually in the table, and like run the analysis, and every step thereafter reruns. And then finally, based on that, it goes and says that the total revenue generated by group A is this, while group B has done this. By comparing with each group, we can see that group B has generated significantly more revenue than group A. Now, this is a fairly simple analysis, but the use cases for A B test can go very complex, and I'll be covering some of them. For example, you go on and say, there are multiple parameters. Can you identify which parameters are correlated in the set that is performing better? In the set that did not perform well, what is something that I should have observed? Even things which would ideally just be very open ended explorations, the system can take care of it very, very, very well. And in case you have an A B test example that you are scratching your head over, or for that matter, spending a lot of time on today, even if you have a setup done, I would love to take that as a use case and make a video out of it for you here on your data set, or maybe on a dummy data set that I'll find from somewhere. And using that, we can demonstrate how these custom AI agents can actually help you with A B testing. Analysts, data teams, this was specifically for you. If you find this interesting, please let me know what you would like to see next. Thank you and bye bye.